Happy Flosstube Friday, friends. My name is Kari. This is Target Lily Designs. Welcome to Flosstube episode number 64. Yay! If you're checking me out for the first time, welcome. My channel is quilting and cross stitching and knitting and making and all the things. And if you're a returning subscriber, thanks so much for coming back. Now today is my Flosstube podcast, video, quilting thing, all the things. The moral of the story is I have stitching and knitting and quilting, oh my, plus a little Tiger Lily Shop update at the end. Let me run through my table of contacts as I like to do so you know what's coming up. I've got two stitchy whips this week. One's a big girl sampler that I've been trying to chug along on. So I'll give you a little bit of update, show you what I've stitched and able to finish on her. I have a finish, and not just a stitch finish, a fully finished finish. Yay. I'll give you the details on that. Knitting update, both my projects. I've got updates as well as haul that's associated with the updates. Super fun. Can't wait to share that. It's got some stitchy kindness this week. Thank you so much. I have the giveaway winner from last week and another giveaway for this week. Plus, I have the Tiger Lily Shop update at the end of the video in case you want to know what's going on in the next couple of weeks or more in the Tiger Lily Shop update world. But that'll be at the end, so stay tuned. All right, friends, without further ado, let's dig into my whips. So I'm going to show you the whip first, and then we'll talk about the finish. So this is the January Keeper Club Keeper. She is holding my birthday Sal. You're going to see this until she's done. So Miss Harriot Hey, Mill and the Floss samplers, beauty that I love so much. Here's my project tracker card. You can see I did a full Tiger Lily custom conversion on this one. She's my big girl because she's 237 by 286. I'm stitching this on 16 count LFA Boston Tea Party Aida. If you're new here, I'm an Aida stitcher. I put all the things on the Aida. Big girls, small girls, ornaments, all the things. Aida is my jam. So I have this, and then these are all my stitchy friends. Remember that I'm stitching that are doing the birthday style with me, so I love to show you guys those. I love following the hashtag. I've got two hashtags for this on Instagram. Harriot Hey Sal and the Tiger Lily Birthday Sal. So if you want to follow along, or if you're stitching Miss Harriet, so many people, and this is, to be honest, why she got pulled out again this week is because, of course, I follow the hashtags. And so I'm scrolling the gram, and I'm like, look at how far, oh my goodness. Okay, so I got to catch up. I'm never going to catch up because I do about 37 things a week, but I'm trying to at least stay in the running. Not that it's a race. It's not a race. It's never a race. Stitch at your own pace. There's no winners, all the things. But here is what I worked on. Here is my update for this week. So as you remember, I worked on the border, closed that solid leaf border, but let's just ooh and ah over the beautiful fabric. LFA Linens is the name of the company, although it's Aida, not linen, that I get from Sue. She's a hand dyer, and I get it from Sue's a hand dyer. Rachel at Treehouse Fiber Arts is where I buy it all. So I will link everybody down below. They have their own Flosstube channel. If you haven't watched it, I will link them down below. You need to make sure. But what did I do? So I saw this, first of all, Sarah has finished the flowers all around the daggone border, crushing it. So I was like, okay, that's not going to happen. But what could I do? Finish this bird. First of all, how funky is that bird? It's like half the size of the house. I love, if you've been around for a while, you know how much my daughter, she thought it was hilarious. Like the anniversaries of Heart Blackbird, where that blueberry or the moth is like just this exact same size as a house. She thought that was hilarious. And so when there's birds or insects that are the same size as buildings, you know, when the scale is wonkadoodle, I love it. And of course, I'm totally here for all the funky colors associated with that bird. How fun is that? So that is basically, and then I did a couple, I'm a color stitcher, meaning like if I pull a strand, 6 strands, and because it's on 16 count, I'm using 2 strands over 1 on Aida. And so like this is called Bedazzled. I forget who made, but I love the name of that color. So this dude's coat is Bedazzled. So, you know, there's a little bit in there, a little bit in here, a little bit in the peacock. I think that was Bedazzled. But it's one of those things where that's why there's random things all around. I'm not a page finisher. I'm at least I don't like to have a bunch of random I like to use all 6 strands before I switch to another color. So that's why, because I was doing the gray and this bird, and then I was like, okay, I have some extra gray. Let's do this gray and this gray and this gray. Just start filling it in, just so A, I don't waste the floss, and B, you know, that's really it. I don't waste the floss. And so then I don't have to keep track of it. That's the other thing, is that I'm not a huge fan, especially because my colors, so this is my color, my full color conversion, like I said, and I have a link down below that'll take you to my website if you love my colors. Most of them are because it's called for in DMC, and I love overdyed. I love the variegation that overdyed gives, especially in these samplers. It just gives it texture. One of the things we talked about, and I don't know if I've talked about it yet, but this house is actually charted for 2 different DMC colors. It's like half one color here and half one color there. Well, so in case you're wondering, I'm not doing 2 different colors. I charted it, or I pulled colors. One beautiful red. I think the house is Ruby Slippers. I think the house is Ruby Slippers. So it's a nice variegated red. So rather than doing, you know, DMC red 1 and DMC red 2, whatever they were called for, I'm doing a variegated red on the whole daggone thing. So that's what I you know, some of the things I like to change, make it my own. The same thing with the grass. Of course, I wanted variegated grass, not just a DMC block, big chunk of green. I wanted to give the grass some texture. And of course, so that's what I did. So my friend Sarah makes me these cute, adorable, I can't live without them. She puts our hashtags on the back. They're fantastic. My little custom, she waits for me to do the custom conversion. She's so sweet. So these are all the colors. But the moral of the story is, so why don't, you know, why am I not good about the little thread bed saving things? Well, because some of these are just too close. So obviously the gray, I would know there's only one that's this gray. But the red, there's like 3 different reds. So if I had a random red strand or 3 in my little ORT project, I wouldn't know which one is which. So that's why I like to pull the 6 strands, stitch those 6 strands wherever they are on the chart, and then switch colors if I'm trying to finish a motif. Welcome to the crazy world. Just a little behind the scenes into the brain of how I stitch. Fun? I don't know, but that's how I do it. All right, so if you follow me on Instagram, you saw what I decided to do last night. Now, last week, I had a new start, and this was just a inspiration. It is patriotic stitching time. I also brought my other patriotic pillows out because I had to get them out to see. So I'll show you those real quick just so you can see my dough bowl that I don't have yet is coming together. But so last week I had a new start in the Sweet Land of Liberty Blackbird book. You've all seen it, like what? So, but this is the one I did. Now I did a full color conversion. My project tracker card is over there. But if you go back to last week's video, I do show it. It's a full color conversion. We talked about the different threads that I did because I made some changes, went from 13 colors down to 11 colors because we talked about that all last week. That was the start. Well, this week I decided to hunker down, finish. I wanted to finish. So on Instagram, I showed, so I finished the stitching 2 nights ago. And last night, quitting time bell rang in the studio about 4:30, a little early. Shh, don't tell my boss, aka me, that I was going to stop production, working on that. And so I was like, I got to do a little fun, because today's Flosstube Friday, and I felt like I needed a little bit more stitching just to show you rather than just showing you the finish. And so on Instagram, it was so much fun. I brought y'all along. It was truly only 30 minutes in the studio, from cutting to interfacing to sewing the rickrack and all the things, and I'll show you. And we did a little poll. I asked you guys because, so I'll show you. Is there a better picture to show you? Let me see. I'll give you a little story behind the story. Hold please. Okay, here we go. Much better. Okay, you see, so it's finished in the round. And so the stitching chart doesn't have anything over here and anything over here. And we talked about this yesterday or last week. It's actually charted with 5 flowers, and then the house is kind of half cut off. You can see kind of. And so I didn't want to stitch it. I didn't want to finish it in the round. A, I wanted another pillow for my patriotic dough bowl. And B, I didn't want to, like, why would I stitch it if I'm just going to cover it up in the finishing? So I have a rectangle finish. And so, but I had a choice of either charting my own or pulling motifs from something else and adding it to make it a full rectangle and have it make sense. Or instead, last night, I went into my button collection, and you guys got a huge hoot out of my button collection. Let me show you. Okay. Because it's fun. You guys love it, right? So, whoops. This is my button box. So what did I do is I color coordinated my buttons. I have a lot of buttons. Don't judge. And you never would, I know. But like, here are all my white buttons, right? Huge container. It doesn't really need to be that big, but that's the container I had. So use what you have, right? And then I was like, okay, but I need, what, 8 red, Roy G. Biv. Okay, first of all, let's talk about this for just a second. I was floored about 2 weeks ago. I'm talking to my mom. And I'm like, oh, just, you know, we're going to do the rainbow. We're talking about rainbows and things. I'm not going to tell you what for, but I was like, you know, rainbow. She's like, I don't know what the order is. I go, it's Roy G. Biv. She goes, what? What is Roy? What? Huh? Roy Orbison or Orbison? What? No. Roy G. Biv. Like, didn't you go to art school? Didn't you take art class in middle school? Roy G. Biv. She had no idea. Now, do you know what Roy G. Biv means? Come on now. I was floored, fell out of my chair that my mother did not know, and all still learning when you're that old. Not that old, I'm not going to tell you. She's young at heart. But still learn. You can learn something new every day, no matter how old you are. That's the moral of the story. Is she learned what Roy G. Biv. Red, orange, yellow, green, Biv. Blue, indigo, violet. Roy G. Biv. Rainbow. Anyway, hoot. Anyway, so I decided I needed to organize my buttons in Roy G. Biv order. And I needed to, like, but what was I going to use? So I was like, I could go buy containers, but I don't like buying containers. I'm a reuser in all aspects of my life, really. So what are these? Candles. You know, you get the little candles, Yankee Candle. I'm not a name brand candle buyer, but Aldi. These are from the Aldi. So, you know, the Aldi, we would burn some candles, usually in the winter times, because it's nice and warm and pretty and toasty. So here's my pinks, my purples. They don't have many oranges. So I went to my button box. These are my blues. And yes, we burn a lot of candles. But so I save them because they're nice glass containers with the things. And so they go perfect. Anyway, so last night I went into my button box and I decided I am going to put buttons because it's super fun on this finish rather than trying to chart something and stitch something more and just, you know, don't mess with the Blackbird. Although I do mess with it. I always change my colors. But and so on Instagram, why did I even tangent? On Instagram, I did a little poll to decide whether I wanted to do all the beautiful vintage mother of pearl. I pulled out like a whole handful of these tiny little ones, or red, white, and blue. And so I did a poll on Instagram. I was like, okay, guys, this is what I'm going to do. Time to vote. So last night I did that. Put that on the floor right there. And so I finished the pillow all the way to the point of stuffing and getting it ready. I showed you in Instagram stories. That's why it's always fun to follow me on Instagram if you play, because it's fun. And so this morning I woke up, first thing, so fun. Let's see what the poll results are. And so at the time of waking up this morning, it was 80-20. Like it wasn't even beginning to be a tie on what y'all thought I should do. And so of course I followed the rules. I did what you said. And here's my finish. Red, white, and blue won. Yay. So I finished my sweet little pillow. So like I said, this is stitched on. Did I tell you what this was stitched on? 16 count Boston Tea Party. I am 95% sure because I went into my LFA scrap bucket because I keep every last little segment of it. And of course I did my Rick Rack trim tutorial. Now, this is a blast from the past. A cute little shop in Ohio tagged me this week saying that the Rick Rack tutorial that I have on YouTube was something that a finisher was recommending. And I was, woo! That's honored, super honored. So I, of course, wanted to watch my own tutorial because I forgot. It was back in September. And if you don't use it very often, the tutorials are not just for you, they're for me too. So I had that playing on in the background, did that. And so of course I use, if you're new here, upcycling. Can you see? So this was a flannel shirt in its first life. I have a whole bucket of flannel shirts that I made a flannel shirt quilt out of, flannel square stockings. They're adorable. But I still have lots of scraps. And so of course, a red, white, and blue, beautiful. The blue matched the front. Can you see? Matched the front. I love it. And I did my trick where the seams where I get to line up the flannel. My hand stitching was a little off there, but that's okay. I made it. Put my tag on the back and then she's ready to go. And so I hand stitched these 3 buttons on first thing this morning because y'all voted and I love it. And so it's so great. So let's look at some of the other pillows. Of course, another flannel bag. This was a Barbara Anna from a Patchwork from the magazines that you get. This was a freebie, Plum Street Samplers, I think. I've talked about all these pillows many times before. Usually, if you go back and look at my thumbnails on my floss tubes, you'll see. This is a cutie. This is a Plum Street Sampler. It's got the flags and chickens. Love that. And then, of course, this is the one that I did the tutorial with. We did put together this George and Martha, another Plum Street. And of course, I need to order myself. So I went and I looked this morning. I've got my little gourd pins. And then 2022. So all of these are 2022. They all need pins. And so, but I looked, I haven't ordered myself some 2023. So I'm going to get some of those going. I'll link that down below if you think that's super fun. I love just adding my tag and then the year on the back. But I didn't even put tags on the back of these. So that's the only one. So I need to tag some of these up and then put the gourd pins on them so that in 10 years I'll be like, when did I do all this? Because it's just fun. So all of these, my Dobo pillow collection for Patriotic is coming together. I'm super excited. Yay. I think I need one more with the color steps. You can tell I like stitching on neutral, especially with Patriotic. This was my Calfee dye. I don't remember what everything is. I could reference my project, but I love that blue. So maybe I'll find another one that I can put on blue and that will complete my Dobo. But that is my finish for this week. Yay. All right, we're going to stay in the realm of stitching real quick before we totally switch gears. So I wanted to do the giveaway winner from last week. Now, if you guys remember, I finished this chart, Love by You. So sweet. Mine is stitched on this beautiful dye by Patrick purple. Spoiler, I found the frame for it. I haven't fully finished it, but maybe by next week I'll have it. Oh my gosh, total score. Can't wait to show it to you. It just didn't happen. But I've got it, so it's coming. But the moral of the story is, yay, I've got my giveaway winner. I pulled from the YouTube comments from last week's video. And Mama Lane, we just talked via email a couple days ago, but congratulations, Mama Lane. You won this pattern, and I'm going to see you at Weekend A at StitchCon. Woo, woo, yay. So I'm sure I have your address because if I remember what we were talking about, I should have your address. But shoot me an email and let me know your address and I will pop this in the mail to you lickety split. And so with that, let's talk about the stitchy kindness I got this week. And then maybe there'll be a little giveaway from that. So my sweet friend Robin, I talked to you guys. I love it when I go to my P.O. box. I'm like, surprise, stuff you weren't expecting. Love this community. You gotta spoil me. Thank you. So I went there, wasn't expecting anything, expecting some bills, maybe, you know, the normal. I usually use my post office more for dropping off than picking up, but surprise was in there. My sweet friend Robin sent me a little thank you card saying that she had organized her stitching room and had found 2 duplicate charts. We're all guilty of doing that, me included, finding, how did I buy this chart twice? And so she's like, maybe somebody will love this. I'm gonna send it to you, do it as a giveaway. And she threw in a vintage stitching. So so sweet. Listen, and then just so you know, whenever I get something that has this crocheted or this beautiful, look at that open work. I always, I have a whole collection over on my thread bed wall or my ribbon wall. I'll show you all. Someday I'm going to do a studio tour in my new studio, I promise. But I keep all of this to repurpose it one day. It's just so good. So, but look at that vintage stitching. That is just the sweetest. It does have a little wear, but that's actually makes it more better, in my opinion. So it's so gorgeous. Just those beautiful stitches. It's not a lovely linen weave. So thank you, Robin. I can't wait to match this up with some gorgeous coordinating fabrics. I love this little mustard center. And of course, listen, you know I love my pink. So she sent me 2 charts as well. One of them is Prairie Schooler Prairie Stars. And so I had never seen this chart before. Let me open it up. So fun. I think I'm going to stitch one of them at least, and then I'll pass it on to you. But such cute little, almost full coverage type finishes. Now, this is from 2004. And they're 41 by 30. So super quick, super great, quick little stitches. This is the one that I immediately saw and I was like, oh my goodness. I see it. I see it in Tiger Lily bright Christmas colors, not so much the prim. You know, I love to change things up. And so I think that is the one that was calling my name for sure. And of course, I love this house with the peace doves and Santa going down the tree, all the things. Love it so much. Oh, this little reindeer. Is it stitched on black? No, it's full coverage. So all that black you see is actually black stitching. So these are super cute. So I'll definitely stitch one. But she also sent me the Tea Garden pin pillow. So this was new, part of the March, Tea Garden collection collaborative thing. So anyway, this one is a giveaway for today. So use the word tea, like you drink TEA. Use the word tea in your comment down below if you want to be entered in to win this little chart for this week. So remember, you need to use the word, you need to be a subscriber, and you need to like the video. And then next week I will pull the winner and pop that in the mail. It's so perfect. I mean, it's a brand new chart. It just came out at market. So that's exciting. So thank you so much, Miss Robin, for passing the stash, and I'm going to pass it to you. So that is Stitchy Kindness giveaway winner. Yay, all the things. What are we going to dig into now? Knitting. Ready? Welcome to the knitting portion of the channel. Are you excited? I'm excited. Okay, so we've talked about, I've got 2 different things to show you. Let's start small first. Now, I am new to the world of sock knitting. I collect. I'm not new. I'm crushing the collecting yarn hobby. Yay. But actually squeezing lots of time, not enough time for all the making, but I did find a couple things that if you are new to the sock world knitting and you're joining me, or you're an experienced one, maybe you want to do this. Okay. So let me just show you. Of course, love my box. Little thing. Oops, sorry for shaking you. This is something I made for my travels. I love it so much. It's perfect. It holds my 2 sock balls. So there's one, and here's another. Anyway, oh yeah. So this is Freckled Whimsy. I've talked about her company before. Freckled Whimsy. It's yarn of the month, self-striping yarn. Love first of all, bright colors, rainbow. You know I'm in. And then self-striping, so you don't have to change colors in your sock. Check. Okay, so we've talked about socks before. And heel up, toe down. No. Toe up, heel down. That's correct. And so I have 2 different styles going 2 different ways. And no, I do not have a finished sock yet. But I'm in the realm. I'm close. The light at the end of the tunnel is, I can see it. So I want it to be it's always more fun when you look at it and it's pretty, right? I'm a big fan of pretty. It's just fun. It's my hobby. And if I want it to understand, so this is a DK sock. So because fingering, you need about 7,000 stitches, and wasn't my jam yet. And so I'm doing a DK sock. Yes, I know it's like going to be summertime, so I'm certainly not going to be wearing DK socks in June in Virginia because it's hot, but that's okay. I have plenty of time. The moral of the story is I ordered some Make My Socks Pretty sock blockers. So I got these from Amazon. So I will link them down below because I have been looking at my local yarn. Of course, I tried my local yarn shop first. And I didn't really, I knew what I wanted. I wanted metal open so that they could dry. It was part of the A, look pretty, and B, dry, because after you wash your socks and you block your socks, you want them to dry. So I wanted the metal open ones so that they would dry quicker, in my theory, versus the pretty block. The pretty block wood ones would be pretty to show you, but not functional. So functional and pretty. Anyway, so I looked at a couple different sites, looked at my site, and I couldn't find anything. I was like, okay. I actually ordered a set. I ordered a set from Jimmy Bean's Wool. I thought I ordered the right size. They came based on my foot size. They came when they were ginormous. And I'm like, okay, well, this was a waste because, well, one day maybe I'll make Patrick a sock. I'm not quite sure he wants rainbow striped socks, but I'll get some male appropriate striped socks. But in the meantime, I was like, okay, I want to look at my socks in a pretty way. And I obviously don't know what I'm doing. So I went to Amazon and I found this after plenty of searching. I don't know if you feel the same way, but sometimes when you put things in Amazon and you get 7,000 results and none of them are exactly what you want. I don't even know how I found this one, but so glad I did. It is called the Silly Monkey set of 3. So every size you need. Very reasonable because you're getting 3 sets. And I knew I was going to use 2 of them eventually. So I was like, get all 3. Amazon Prime. I will link it down below. You know I do. But so what it is, and it's fantastic. So it all came together. It's 3 sets and this little doohickey. I probably won't use this. I'll just hang this on my laundry room, like that wire shelfie thing you have above your washing machine. But it's 3 sizes. So you've got the large, jumbo feet, medium, there's only one, can you guess why? And then small. Lily's got a small foot. So, you know, maybe she'll get a sock one day. We'll see if I become a sock person. But anyway, so these are super great. This came super excited about it. Because then, yes, I know it's not a finished sock. But it was one of those things where at least now it motivates me because it looks so pretty. To finish, this was, I forget what kind of heel that was. I was struggling with the heel too, but I finished the heel. It obviously fits in the blocker, so that's good. And, but that's what I got. So I'm excited. I need to do a little bit more trying to figure out, this is the tricky part, figuring out when to stop just the round and round and do the toe decreases. So stay tuned. Maybe I'll have a sock one day. Okay, so, but while I was also on the Amazon, we talked about before my sweater, right? So I'm doing a sweater, super fun. It's the Espace Tricot Caliope sweater, free pattern on Ravelry. And I am using this beautiful cashmere cotton emeraldy green, love it color. And I had gotten far enough where I was like, okay, salvage fabric scraps. So yes, there's always threads and stuff. But what I got, so we talked about this. I'm just in the stitching in the round and round we go at the bottom. So this is where I was last time I showed it to you guys. I was right there. So I haven't gone very far. But why I'm bringing it back already is I got myself, no, we had talked about it and you guys gave me a couple and I went and I looked and I couldn't find it again. I couldn't find exactly what I was looking for. And so I ordered on Amazon. If you need some, send me a message because I think I got way more yards than I need. But it was one of those things where you couldn't just buy. Anyway, it's this stretchy tubey thing that you put on the ends of your needles. So that way, because right now I'm using interchangeable needles, they're 32-inch length. Well, a 32-inch length cord wasn't big enough to go over my head and try it on and to see if it was where I wanted it to be. So in the meantime, because it's always fun, I know you guys love it. Let me see if I can figure out which is the front and which is the back. This is the front. All right, ready, friends? Because it's fun. So now I can put my sweater on. Now, it's still not long enough, is the moral of the story. Can you see? Yeah. So obviously I have some more knitting to do to the bottom of my sweater or my shirt. It does have a band at the bottom. So I need to figure out how long I want the total width. I think the band is 3 inches, but either way, I've got some more knitting to do. But it fits size-wise. I did not block it. I just, you know, put on my stretchy cords, opened it up. The cords are still holding good. That is fancy how that works. And so I totally am going to use that now instead of this waste yarn. So now I have to pick up the stitches. If I had just used some of that pink cording, that rubber stuff, and I could have just grabbed it again. So totally going to be usable later. But I love it. The fit is right. I don't think this fabric is going to stretch out and bloom as much as the other ones because it's a cashmere cotton and not the superwash merino, but we'll see. Either way, it's super fun. I love it. Again, it's not sweater weather anymore in Virginia, but that's okay. It gives me plenty of time to sew it together. So, but I was super excited about this cord because A, it's magical to add in here, super reasonable, and I have cord for life, really. I don't have to worry about losing it. And so I'll link that, but that is the progress on my sweater. So it's super fun. So now that I've tried it on, I'm motivated. I will do some measurements, tell myself, okay, do another 20 rounds, which takes a hot minute, but that's okay. Slow and steady enjoys the fun, right? Okay, so that is my knitting update and my haul for the knitting. Now, woohoo, we're just flying along. All right, so that was my cross stitch and my knitting. And so I am gonna do a little tiger, got a little sweater try on here. We're gonna do a little Tiger Lily shop update just to give you the what's been going on in the shop and what's coming soon, because that's always fun. All right, so if you don't know, feel like I've been talking about, but the Keeper Clubs, yes, there is one left. The Keeper Clubs went out on Monday, and so lots of them are already out in their world, being loved by the new stitchers that are using them and loving them and all the accoutrements that are in them. I'm so excited how much you guys are loving the box. Thank you. I'm going to do my unboxing probably mid to late week next week because I know that there's sometimes it takes a hot minute to go from Virginia to Hawaii. That's just all there is to it. So I don't want to spoil the fun for anyone. And so I will do my unboxing and show you guys, if you didn't get the Keeper Club, to show you what's coming up or what was in the box, just because it's always fun to share. Remember, it's all small businesses. I think there were 3 small businesses as well as Tiger Lily featured in this box. And so that's my favorite part. One of my favorite parts of this whole thing is showing you guys, exposing you guys to new small businesses as well as the keepers. So that is the April Keeper Club. So the July Keeper Club, let me just give you a little housekeeping email. So on May 1st, Monday, May 1st, an email will go out to all current club members as well as people on the wait list. It will give you all the information. So if you want to get on if you want information, you got to join the wait list, because I can't just, I feel like the wait list, the whole point of it is that you get a little extra, you get a little know early, right? So if you're on the current Keeper Club or on the wait list, an email will be sent on Monday, May 1st, telling you guys the details of the timing and the release and the dates for the July Keeper Club. So there will be spots. How many is TBD. Why is that TBD? Because also in that email, if you are a current club member and you want to keep going, awesome sauce. No changes needed. You don't have to do anything. Thankfully, everything is working on the website. Whoop. And so if you want to just keep rolling as is, you will get the next box. You don't need to do nothing. If you have your choice of changing, if you wanted to change from a bobbin keeper to a double pocket keeper or vice versa, that information will be in that email. There's a change window, so we'll get that, and or cancel. Of course, there is no commitment. This is not an annual this is no commitment. You're welcome to cancel your subscription at any time. Just know that if you cancel your subscription, you lose your spot in the club and you go back to the bottom of the wait list, and it's pretty long. So just keep that in mind. No pressure. You certainly don't have to keep going, but this is when I want to figure out who's in, who's been in, and who's going to continue being in. And then that way I'll know how many spots I have to open up for the July box for the people that are on the wait list. And so then in that, all information will all be in that email. So look for your emails. If you get this, check your email. Send me a DM on Instagram, or my email's down below in the description box here, or you can always contact me on my website. Lots of different ways to grab me. But questions, we've got plenty of time. It's only May, but I do just want to get everything signed up and get the people that are excited, because there will be open spots. It's just a matter of how many for the July club, as well as obviously once you're in it until you don't want to be anymore. So no worries, I'm excited. So I'm obviously ramping up a little bit on the Keeper Club. And I've already, like I told you guys on Instagram, I think, the July fab. So in case, you can't see, but down here, if you remember last couple of videos, I've had my pretty pink jelly roll quilt top that's not finished, kind of covering up some fabric portions. And that's because that is where the July Keeper Club fabric was. But now it's bolts. Empty bolts of fabric, and that means the July Keeper Club is in full production, and I'm excited. It's gonna be a good one. But listen, I love them all. So that's the Keeper Club. That's the update on the timing and the subscription. Of course, if you have any questions, reach out. Super, always wanting to help and answer any things. That's that. The next, if you're not in the Keeper Club, but you still want a keeper, the next time, as always, I do a shop update on the 15th of the month. Sometimes it's 10, sometimes it's 20, just a little shop update every month as a different way to get a keeper from Tiger Lily. This month, I'm super excited, and that's why I'm going to spoil it. I'm spoiling it early, so that way, if it's something you want to do, because listen, as you can tell, I'm in patriotic mode. Wink, wink. Can you guess what it is? Maybe you are too, and this might be like the cat's pajamas of what you want. So I do just want to show it to you. This is what, on May 15th, there will be a shop update at 1 p.m. Eastern. It's always 1 p.m. Eastern. It's always on the 15th every month. It's always on my website, not on Etsy, on my website. Link down below, as always. Now, this isn't fully finished. It is over there on my sewing table, because it's not even May yet. I got plenty of time, but it's almost done. It's in the binding stage, but I thought it's close enough for me to show it to you, because I love a good patchwork. And maybe you do too. So this is going to be the shop update in May. It's Patriotic Patchwork. Look at this collection. It was Red, White, and Bang from Sandy Gervais, from Riley Blake. And like I said, it's just in the binding stages. So that's why there's no binding yet. It's real close. The binding's coming, but there's going to be 16 of these. Now, the great thing about this one is it's not just going to be a keeper. I've got a little extra surprise for you this time. I'm working with Tiger Lily's mama. If you know what that means, you know what it means. But, so it's going to be a little mini bundle for this Patriotic Patchwork Keeper mini bundle. That's what's coming on the May 15th shop update. So set your alarms, set your clocks, come back. Maybe I'll even show you next week what another item that's going to be in the bundle. Any ideas? Okay, so that's the 15th shop. And then last but not least, I have a little Christmas spoiler for you. Now, if you've been around for a while, you know that personally I do 12 days. Well, one year I did 24 days of Flosstube live videos every day on Friday in December. This year I did 12 days. So the first 12 days of Stitchmas, that was in December every day. This year I am building, expanding, doing bigger better and including you excited. I'm putting something together. I'm so excited. I just want to give a little teaser that it's coming. Plan accordingly for your Christmas Advent fun. Tiger Lily details are coming soon, but trust you me, it's gonna be bonkers awesome. All right, friends. So I don't know when I'm gonna have the details on that, and so it's probably not very nice of me to spoil the fun for you, but I'm kind of excited about it. I really tried to get all the details so I could just drop all the information today on you, but I don't have it yet. So I'm waiting until I put all my ducks in a row and announcing it and getting excited. But it is coming together like, you know, some things that's just as a creative, putting these things and curating, and spoiler, it's gonna be so fun. Okay, that is all I have for you today. Stitching and knitting. There wasn't really any quilting. Well, pickles. I forgot. Actually, I didn't quilt this week. I wanted to work on my retreat bag. I am going to do a retreat bag. I have the pattern pulled and the fabric pulled, but that's about as far as I've gotten because I've just been deep diving into these other things. So we'll see if I squirrel away. I think it's gonna rain all weekend, which means I can't dig in the dirt. Well, shucks. That means I might have to play in the studio all weekend. So if you want to see what I'm doing, follow along on Instagram. Or until next time, next Flosstube Friday, as always, friends, I will see you. Happy making, happy knitting, happy quilting, happy doing all the things. And until next time, friends, happy stitching.